Josh, what is going on, brother? Man, again, I just want to say thank you for your patience. We've been we've been pretty slammed here these last 2 weeks. These last 2 weeks with everybody reaching out to us. So yeah, about 50 plus business owners reaching out for a video. Each video is 10 minutes at least. And then, of course, it goes with the processing of it and the research that's done beforehand. So, anyways, thank you for your patience and reaching out, brother. Got this video here for Vikings Concrete Coating. Actually, that's a very dope logo, brother. Very dope name. And yeah, so it's going to have 3 points. That's going to be content, backlinks, and citations. Then I'm going to show you the opportunity of taking these steps for your business and just how profitable and lucrative it's going to be for the business. And towards the end, at the very end, I'm going to give you my personal suggestions for what your possible situation is looking like, just based off of what I've found and some possible routes that you can go after you watch this video. So let's get into it, right? I know that you don't have, or I don't know, but I couldn't find your website if you do have one up. So for the sake of this video, we're going to use the top competition in the area, which is Dialed in Epoxy. And we're going to use their website just so I could break it down for you and lead you in the best way for success, okay? So, first things first is content, right? And generally, Google likes to see on the homepage 1,500 to 2,000 words. Now, that's depending on the competition and the number of keywords needed. If you're asking what a keyword is, Josh, a keyword is anything someone might type into Google when they're looking for a particular service or product. So, in your content, you can place these keywords throughout to tell Google exactly what terms you want your website found for. For an example, some of your keywords might be epoxy flooring, Phoenix, Arizona, or garage epoxy, Phoenix, Arizona, stained concrete, Phoenix, Arizona. You get the idea, right? It's service plus city equals keyword. And so I know you don't have a website up, but man, it's going to be so important that you get one up, and you're going to see why. I promise you. Just wait till the end of the video. So let's go ahead and put your top competition in a word counter, and let's just see how they're stacking up on the content, right? So yeah, they're at about that 1,200 mark. You don't want to be even with them. You want to outdo them, of course, as the idea is to beat them, not be even or be below them, right? So hit that 1,500 mark when you do get that website up, and go ahead and get those keywords in there that I'm going to show you. So here is my tool, Ahrefs. It's a tool that I use and pay for monthly. Gives me more in-depth data on websites and competitors' websites that I use for my clients. But nonetheless, it's going to give you, there are free tools out there that you can use. This is just what I use. So let's take a look at Dialed in Epoxy on here and see what keywords Google's picking them up for, right? And so, of course, the obvious keyword would be epoxy floor in Phoenix, right? And so we can see 250 people are searching for that in Phoenix monthly. And then this number right here is going to be keyword difficulty. So this is on a scale of 0 to 100. And the higher that this number is, the harder and longer it's going to take to rank for it organically. And vice versa, the lower it is, the easier and faster you can rank for it organically. So when I say organically, that means when someone puts in epoxy flooring, Phoenix, Arizona, this is where you rank for it organically, right? And so that's the KD. That's the amount of people they're getting into their website. They're getting 82 people to their website a month just for this one word alone, and they're ranked in the number 2 position. So you can see each keyword bringing in such good traffic, right? I mean, the service that you're in right now, epoxy, is very needed in Phoenix, Arizona. Um, Never mind. I'm getting I'm getting off, right? I'm getting off on the wrong venture. So let's go on to the second point that I have for you. That's going to be backlinks. I'm sorry, excuse me. That's going to be backlinks. So when you do get your website up and running for Viking Concrete Coatings, you're going to want to focus on backlinks after you get that content point down. And now a backlink is anywhere you find one website linking to another. Or in this case, it's going to be one website's linking back to Viking Concrete Coatings website when you do get that up and running. And so these links, they act like an endorsement of your website from others. And Google basically uses this to build trust in your website and your business by seeing other websites, vouching for you and pointing back to your website. The best example that I can give to you of this without, just speaking gibberish is, in Google's eyes, it's like a popularity contest where the person with the most websites pointing back to theirs, is winning that quote unquote popularity contest. So if we go ahead and take a look at Dialed in Epoxy, we can see that they have roughly 379 backlinks and they've got 166 other websites pointing back to theirs. So they're a fairly new company. They started it, wow, They started mid July of 2022, and they've done a great job. But nonetheless, the idea is, and it does stand true, if it works for them, it most certainly will work for you, your website, and your business. And so we can go in and see what websites do they have linking back to theirs. We just take a second. It is loading a bit slow here. And so these would be all the websites right here. And so these would be the websites pointing back to theirs, right? And you can see that, they've got more of them there. I do want to point out that not all links are created equal. So, it is worth noting to stay relevant to your industry, and local websites will work best. To further that point, let's take a look at this number right here, brother. And that's going to be domain rating. And so what this is basically the higher this number is, the more power that Google is giving to this website right here. And so you want high-powered websites pointing back to your page, right? It's going to rank you a lot faster here, and it's going to give your website a lot more authority and power. So you want to try and stay away from anything that's lower than 20, if possible. Now let's go on to the last point that I'm going to have for you, but most certainly one of the most important, and that's going to be this Google Map Pack section right here. And so it's going to be a citation. And now a citation is anywhere your business name, address, and phone number are, exactly as it's shown here on this Google business profile, which you're going to want to get one of these up as soon as you can. And so these citations, they help you rank in this map pack here, which we know is important because they generate huge amounts of revenue for local businesses. For an example, if someone put in epoxy flooring, Phoenix, Arizona, you want to be in that top 3 section right here, right? Just think of it as if you've ever did, roofers near me or restaurants near me. You're most likely clicking on that top 3 right there, right? Google's saying that they're valued and trusted, and you get to see the reviews, right? So you're going to trust them. You're going to reach out to them first for a bid. Nobody's going to go to more businesses or the second or third page, right? And so these citations, they're included in directories like Yelp, Angie's, Expertise, BBB, and there's hundreds of others you may have heard of. Social media accounts are great as well. For an example, when you get this built up and running, on your Facebook business page, you'd want to put your business name, address, and phone number exactly as it's shown right here on your Facebook business page. And Google would see that and count that as one citation. And so then you have Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and the list goes on and on and on. And so the idea is that your brand begins to be found by Google all over the internet. And the larger your online presence is, the more Google trusts, your business and your website. And so once Google starts to see more often these cats right here, then the more likely it is they're going to start ranking you above them. Now, I'm going to do a quick recap over this, and then I'm going to give you some suggestions of my own just based off of what I've seen. It might sound like a little bit of gibberish, but nonetheless, you should, be able to pick it up and get an idea of what I'm talking about. So once you get that website up and running right, you're getting that content up to 1,500 like we talked about. You're putting those keywords in there that I gave you examples of, right? Next, you're getting those backlinks going. You're getting those other websites pointing back to Viking concrete coatings. And you're starting to win that, quote unquote popularity contest. And last but not least, get that Google business profile created, ranked, and get it up there. Get those citations and reviews up right. Let's take a look at why that's so lucrative and how that's going to bring in a crap ton of revenue for you, man. So, dialed in epoxy, right? We see that they're getting roughly 630 people to their website per month off of killing those 3 points alone that we talked about. Now, let's say that this was Viking Concrete Coatings website and business, and let's say that you're now getting, 630 people to your website per month. Of those 630, let's say only 10% of them, right, actually pick up the phone and say, "Hey, Josh, need a bid on this job. Can you and your company do it?" Of those 63 people, let's say you don't even close that much. Let's say you only close half of them, right? So let's say you close around 30 new jobs. Well, that's 30 new jobs per month off of those 3 points alone. Now, I don't know what the business's profit margins are right now, but that's pretty dang good for as long as I've been in the epoxy concrete business. 30 jobs per month is going to be killing it. So the numbers are actually a lot higher than this. This is just a tool that I have using Ahrefs. Google's numbers are a lot higher, but I want to get into some suggestions for you specifically for Phoenix, Arizona. You remember those keywords that I'm talking about, right? And that KD is that keyword difficulty. These are some of the highest that I've seen in a while, and this is not impossible to start killing and outranking dialed in epoxy. If you have the means to, you definitely can do that. Reach out to me. We can definitely formulate a plan. But the KD is a lot higher than normal. Normally, KDs look like in the six and below. At most 8 to 9 and below. What this means is just going to take longer, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult to rank for it. So, just wanted to point that out there for you. Now, I don't know what your financial situation looks like with the business or where you're at with it. But nonetheless, even if for whatever reason after seeing this video you don't want to get a website up, get you a Google business profile up and running. It's one thing to get it up, it's a completely another thing to get it ranking. But if for whatever reason you don't have the means, you know what I'm saying, to do a website, to get it ranking, to bring in, 630 people to your website per month. I mean, this business started, it's looking like in June of 2022, so it has not been a full year for them yet. And nonetheless, they ended up killing it. And, within basically within 6 months they were looking pretty solid. They were in the 400 to 500s. Sometimes their traffic peaked out in the thousands. So if for whatever reason you don't have the means, brother, get that Google business profile up. This is what I do for a living, man. I'm starting to ramble now, but I see a couple different routes that you can go, and I really don't know what your situation is. Excuse me, but this is the roadmap to success that you're looking for, man. I mean, even if you only close out what we talked about, 30 new jobs a month that's $1 million business. So, this is what I do for a living, Josh. I'm creating this video so that you can start generating more leads online. If for whatever reason you did have some more questions and you want some more information, man, reach out to me. I'll shoot you my phone number and we can just chat or something. Maybe I do a little bit more in-depth research than what I've already done. And, I could talk about the businesses of the goal and we can see what could be realistic for the business. You know what I mean? Other than that, I would just ask that you leave one line of feedback for me in this video. Maybe something was confusing. Maybe something, maybe it was all great and you understood it all. Let me know either way. Again, my name is Nick O'Neill. Feel free to reach out. My door is always open, brother. And I hope you're having a blessed night.